now we're switching over into the coping side of utilizing anxiety, where before we're talking about mindsets, the approach we have to recognize and acknowledge kind of that stress and anxiety response is a very healthy, normal thing. Now we're shifting into how do I actually deal with what I'm pulling up. When I activate, when I get upset, when something triggers me and my back brain is kind of going off the rails, fire alarm style, what do I do? Right. And so the following modules, we will cover some of the areas, some exercises, some skills that you can practice from a very mental state to or a physical kind of approach to help ground yourself, to cope with and deal with and shift your body from a kind of a active anxious state to a more calm relaxed focused state. And kind of the idea here is you can do this. Like, these are practical skills, things that you can actually do to shift your body into a healthier, more useful, constructive place. One thing I would like you to kind of think about as we go into this is that coping can come from a lot of different facets. The way I kind of think about it is from four major domains. We have the physical, so that can be some of what we're going to practice is some physical breathing exercises. It can be kind of physical exercise, working out, some weight training, some cardio stuff, using up that anxious energy that your body's giving you. It can come from a mental place, so kind of mindfulness, meditation, journaling, kind of more kind of the thought processes and challenging those, shifting those from one thing to another, those kind of practices. It can be a more social experience, talking to someone, reaching out to a friend, family member, mentor, therapist, counselor, talking and connecting in a social setting, or even just going to a party, going out. If that's something that uplifts and helps you feel more safe and relaxed, do that, right? And then the last one is spiritual. So finding a deeper meaning and purpose behind what you're experiencing, what you're going through. When we know and have kind of that more focused purpose on why we're suffering, why we're anxious, why we're stressed out, then it becomes easier to carry. Not easy, easier. When we know what we're using this for and why we have to feel this way or experience these feelings, it becomes more meaningful and becomes easier to kind of shift from a place of high anxiety, high stress, out of control to a place of focused utilization of that energy. And so, whatever that higher purpose is, whether it be just part of life, kind of more of that spiritual God, or if it's a purposeful in that you're working towards your degree and you're just really stressed out about school, you're working towards a better marriage, and so you're stressed out about your marriage, kind of recognizing that the end goal of why you're doing that, why you care so much about whatever it is, focusing on that, and that can help cope with what you're dealing with in that moment, remembering your motivations. So as you practice and think about shifting from processing from the past to going kind of coping with what's going on right now, I would like to kind of give you some simple tools and skills that you can use to kind of apply that in each of these four areas. Now, the following modules are just some simple exercises, mindfulness, that kind of fall into the two categories of mental and physical. We're going to be focused on breathing, we're going to be focused on grounding while we kind of maybe even imagine something or envision something. But that doesn't discredit some of the other coping skills you already have that you know work for you. And if that's what you use it with this new mindset and vision that we've talked about with processing. Now, with any kind of coping skill, or with any skill in general, the more that you practice it, the more permanent it becomes. The more that you practice it, the more readily available it will be to you to utilize, to use. So I'm going to go through the skills. They might be 5 minutes, they might be 10 minutes. But the point here is that when you apply them, when you practice them, take your time, get good at doing it. And that will help your body become accustomed to, hey, when I do these things, I relax. When I do these things, it means I am safe. And we're training your body into kind of recognizing the cues that you want to use to be in control of yourself, right? And so using the stress, learning to kind of process the stuff from the past, uprooting those problems, and recognizing that how your body is responding is a very healthy, normal, natural thing, which you can control. So let's get into some coping. Think about those coping skills you already have, and maybe utilize some of the ones I'm going to practice with you and see where you go.